What up, YouTube? It's Mirror Box, and I'm here to say relationships can be complicated. So, you like my outfit? So, okay. I noticed I watched this show called 98 Day Fiance, and I feel like besides that it might be scripted, in my opinion, it's also that why do the guys and girls pick out these like materialistic people and they believe that they're supposed to be in a relationship with them and they love them, but at the same time you didn't give them time to know that person. And there was a couple, I forgot their names, and it doesn't matter because they're all kind of the same. Like, the guy finally they meet online from some type of like agency, and they get like overly excited because of the picture, which is like their dream or the fantasy that they've pictured the person to be, and they're from a foreign country somewhere that we don't know about or we've heard, but we have a terrible like opinion on it, and as Americans, and it's so strange how I guess it's strange to me, or taboo. I love that show, by the way, but I think it's strange to me because I'm not in that type of relationship, and that's not how I met. But I have a little bit of a common denominator, I guess I could say, because I met a stranger online and fell in love with them. But I'm like thinking to myself, who am I to judge? So, 98 Day Fiance. I've also saw another show that's similar to it, but it's in the UK instead of just Americans. And there was a guy who was meeting, it was one guy that was focused on, but it was a few other guys, and they go on some type of tropical agency where you meet all like 90 women that would be their type, the dream girl or the dream fiance, and you don't know much about them, but you're supposed to fall in love with them for 3 months or less than that so they can get quickly married. And I feel like that's not the ideal or the more realistic way of meeting someone, but usually the people that are get into this type of relationships are, the main fear that I would see is that they're afraid of being alone, and they probably have low self-esteem. In my opinion, they probably have low self-esteem because they don't they have friends, or some of them have friends, and they have important jobs, or they don't, because there was a guy on 90 Day Fiance who is like a dealer, but not really. He sells marijuana and he's not really good at it, so he has to have a supportive job just to support the job that he has. It's kind of weird. And the girlfriend slash fiance that he had was materialistic. She wants the shopping sprees, hair done, nails done, everything did, but it's still at the same time, it's like he has to get all this money to compensate for a love that does not exist. And I was just thinking to myself, that sucks. And of course, nobody has a relationship. No one has a perfect relationship. And I always wanted to talk about this, so I figured I'd make a video out of it. I'm not a relationship counselor. I'm not a relationship coach, but I do have opinions, and everyone has an opinion, but I just realized that I had like a thought about it. Why do we put ourselves in situations like this where we know that it's not right, or it may be unfamiliar? Maybe that's the challenge, or maybe that's the thrill of meeting somebody they've never known, or of course never known before, but going and risking so much just to fall in love with someone for so little time. That could be mentally an issue as well, where maybe their parents weren't in the perfect relationship, or growing up relationships were very like scarce. But I feel for them, but not in that sense of, yeah, you should go out and go spend all this money you're pretty much buying a relationship. And that's like the main form, especially the ones that are buying into the relationship, putting all this money and such to make this person happy. And I did realize that some of them, the people that are the foreigners, and not trying to point them out, because the person who marries them are, like, not saying that they're right or wrong, but they have issues as well. But the foreigner usually, in both ways, they're both foreign, but the foreigner that this American or person from UK goes to marry this person, they're looking for love, but the person that gets married that is from another country, they're looking for a better opportunity. So I just figured that was interesting. I should sit like this. Sorry for the long pause. It's just like watching these shows kind of remind me of how it seems like a lot of opinions, but it's more like, are they desperate for it, or are they just doing it for TV? Or because there are people that do it without the cameras in front of them. So what would be the reason to do it? Is it just a fantasy, or is it just like they are actually looking for love? And I think that gets construed with lust, and the fact that some people feel like it's a need and a necessity, and they become obsessed. Because there's one person from that show that he's in love with a person that's materialistic, has a big ego. She is only used to a certain lifestyle, and then she says she loves him, but not really, because the only thing she loves is what he has, but he's only compensating because he doesn't have enough money to take care of her. So they have this conflict where every time they have an argument, it goes back to money. I guess those are two main things that have been important in this subject. Love and money. Time, because there's a lot of time that is gained and wasted at the same time. Well, anyway, I guess I'll go into this in another video, but besides that, I hope you like this video, like, subscribe, all that crap. Alright, bye.